After all, I believe in the First Amendment, not just because my good friend Jimmy Madison wrote it.
President Biden joking about his age at last night's White House Correspondents' Dinner. When he was sworn into office in January of 2021, Biden became the oldest president in American history at 78 years old. The previous owner of that distinction, Biden's predecessor, Donald Trump, who was 70 when he took the oath of office. With President Biden announcing his bid for re-election this week and former President Trump head and shoulders above the Republican field in these early stages of the 2024 race, voters are expressing concerns about the age of their choices to run the country. NBC's Dasha Burns has more in our Sunday Focus.
I will not make age an issue of this campaign.
In 1984, on a debate stage in Missouri, 73-year-old President Ronald Reagan, facing questions about his advanced age, delivered a line for the ages.
I am not going to exploit, for political purposes, my opponent's youth and inexperience.
4 decades later, and youth is not a word you would use to describe either leading presidential candidate.
This is not a time to be complacent. That's why I'm running for re-election.
President Biden kicking off his re-election campaign this week at age 80.
What's your biggest concern about him?
I mean, definitely age. It's not super in touch with, such a large percentage of his base.
I think he's too old. I think we need some young blood in office.
These voters are not alone. 70% of Americans believe Mr. Biden should not run for re-election, according to a new NBC News poll. Among those voters who don't want him to run, more than 2/3 say his age is a factor.
Took a hard look at it before I decided to run. And I feel good. I feel excited about the prospects.
Republican presidential contender Nikki Haley delivered a sharp blow this week, saying she doesn't think the president will live to the end of a second term.
The idea that he would make it until 86 years old is not something that I think is likely.
The leading Republican candidate, former President Trump, is 76 years old himself. What are the concerns health-wise as folks reach their late 70s and early to mid-80s?
As men and women age, we know that there are higher risk of dying from things such as heart attacks and strokes and other chronic diseases, heart failure, diabetes, high blood pressure. These all can increase exponentially as you age. It's not linear.
If President Biden were to win again, he would be 86 at the end of his second term. Only 7 presidents have lived past that age. And former President Trump would be 82 at the end of his second term.
I think they do the age thing because I'm 4 or 5 years behind. I know people that built their fortunes from 80 to 90.
Age is also an issue on Capitol Hill. The median age of Congress has been creeping up for years. Senators Dianne Feinstein and Chuck Grassley, both 89 years old, facing mounting criticism over their decisions to continue working. But while the current frontrunners for president aren't getting any younger, history tells us the pendulum swings.
Oftentimes, when you have one or more older presidents, it leads to Americans saying it would be a good thing to have someone young. Dwight Eisenhower, the oldest president in history, 70 years old, was succeeded by John Kennedy, the youngest elected president in history, at the age of 43.
And Dasha joins me now live. Dasha, good morning. It's great to see you. So how is the Biden campaign and the president himself handling these questions about his age that are coming not just from his opponents, by the way?
Hey, Will, good morning. Well, you probably noticed in that announcement video the depiction of a pretty active president, including a clip of him jogging in his suit jacket. Look, the campaign can't change the fact that he's 80, so they're going to do all they can to depict him as fit and as vigorous. The White House even recently put out a spreadsheet showing the president's travel schedule so far this year, eclipsing a similar period for a much younger President Obama back in 2012. And Biden himself has not shied away from addressing his age head on, including at last night's White House Correspondent Dinner, making multiple jokes about his age and the public's fascination with it. Willie?
And all this with a mere 18 months until Election Day. Dasha, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.